the secret formula for making the right choices and avoiding mistakes. As someone who has had both a 4.0 GPA in high school and college, been in an 8-year relationship that's about to get married, and started my own business by 23, I feel like I have some authority to talk about making the right choices, and I can share at least my formula of how I've done it, hopefully to help you guys. And the first step in this is to clarify what you want in life and what you value, or what's most important to you. When you're looking at what's most important to you, do you think, what comes to mind? Is it family? Is it freedom? Is it personal growth? What are the things that are most important to you in your one thing? If you haven't read that book, it's an amazing book to talk about how to clarify things so you can define what matters most to you. For me, what's most important to me is my goals, accomplishing those goals and making an impact on the world. Specifically, helping people go from victim to victor mindset so they can live a life on their terms. That is my most important goal, and those are what is most important to me. But maybe family is the most important to you. When you clarify these things, it can help you make the right decisions, because that transitions to avoiding external pressures. A lot of the time, when we are defining what matters most to us, we take into consideration, what does my family want from me? What do my friends want from me? That external pressure of people that they want the version of you that serves them. And that doesn't serve you though. So what's difficult is we're like, well, you know, my friends want me to keep going out with them, but really I want to build my own business and accomplish my goals. And that's not the version that serves you. It's the version that serves them, because it makes them comfortable in their decisions. They probably give you shit about it, whatever. Don't need to go on a tangent about that. But the best way you can remove these external pressures is to ask yourself the frame, if I were to move 1,000 miles from here, how would I live my life and what would be most important to me? And if you find that it's a stark difference to the life you're living now, well, there you go. Now you understand that you may be succumbing to some of those external pressures, and that's totally okay. But now that you've realized that, you can now remove those external pressures and define what's most important to you, whether that's family or whatever I mentioned earlier. Whatever those values are, you have to define what's most important to you. Now, once you do that, once you have those values, like, okay, you know what? Family's most important to me, or personal growth is most important to me. Once you've defined that, now you have a good test. You have a good filter that everything can go through. Because the best decision for me, where goals and personal growth is most important, might not be the best decision for you if family is. For example, starting your own business when family is the most important to you might not be the best decision, because you won't be able to serve and help your family. As the same thing as for me is that whatever's the best decision for me starting my own business might not be, your decision might not be in line with what's best for me. So you have to define what is most important to you, and then you have that good test or good filter that you can send it through. Once you've clarified your values and what you want, you can then use the 10-10-10 rule. And I'll use this as an example of fitness. So the 10-10-10 rule is, in 10 minutes, how you feel; in 10 months, how you feel; in 10 years, how will you feel, and what will be those outcomes. So with fitness, if you're starting to go to the gym, in the next 10 minutes, you might be in a lot of pain. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be running, I don't want to be lifting these weights, it's painful. But in 10 months, you'll be so happy with the progress you've made, because you'll finally start to see those results. And in 10 years, you will have the longevity benefits from fitness, and you will be a completely different person if you stuck with that throughout. The 10 minutes can show you the short term of how you may feel. Maybe in your professional life, you're like, you know what, I want to quit this job. And in 10 minutes, you might feel great, but in 10 months, you might not feel so great, because that job, serves the lifestyle you have, or is in line with your goals within 10 years and the person you want to be. For me, I don't want to send my emails every day, so in 10 minutes I don't feel great about it, but in 10 years I'll feel great because I'm getting the experience necessary for me to build my business. So the 10-10-10 rule can be really helpful, because it gives you a short-term metric to look at, a mid-term metric, in the next year, how will you feel, what are those outcomes, and that long time horizons. Because so for me, I had this big decision of, do I want to go to master school, or do I want to continue to build my business and be in master school to go be a therapist? Well, in 10 minutes, I might feel better that I'm going to go to master school, because I know that in about 3 years, I'll be making 6 figures. In 10 months, I might feel okay. I'll be halfway there about to having that 6-figure job. But I know in 10 years, that's not in line with my 10-year self, because my 10-year self, I want to have a business where I'm not trading time for money, and I'm able to make, a global impact. And as a therapist, you are be able to make a global impact. It's just that it may be limited because you're only able to see, your 20, 30 clients a week, which again is still great stuff. It's just that you have to define what do you want to look like in 10 years, or who's the person you want to be in 10 years. And so that's completely up to you to define. And that's why you define your values first, to then clarify your 10-10-10 rule. The third and the final piece is going to be to embrace the power of small experiments. To make sure you make the right decisions, you don't want it to be like, oh, here's this opportunity where I can make $1 million a year, and then you jump on it and you find it's a startup that's going to go under within 3 months. So it's important to just test the waters, see, okay, maybe I can have this side project or side business that I'm going to start just to see. Okay, or that internship. So for me, what really gave me great information at master's school is I had this little side internship where I got to try. I'm like, you know what, do I really enjoy this? Is this really what I want to do? And I came to the conclusion that maybe not. So it gave me really powerful information, because once you test those waters, you set up those side experiences, you can then learn from mistakes. So for me, I was like in that internship and I was like, well, maybe this isn't what I want to do. It allowed me to learn from that and look at, okay, this is just a part of process. I'm going to learn, I'm going to make mistakes. It's all great. And I'm going to use that as fuel to do better and do more. And then also it just contributes to my story. The mistakes I've made in the past are all contributing to the person I am today, and that have now become my purpose as a person. So it's cool to see that, and it aids me in a better story. And the final thing is, once you test those waters, once you learn from those mistakes, once you get a winner, you go all in. So my business now, I tested the waters, the internship, I tested the waters, understanding the business. Now that I found a winner, it's time for me to go all in. And once you make sure that's within your values, you've done the 10-10-10 rule, 10 minutes I'm gonna feel good, 10 months, 10 years, whatever, it's time to go all in on it. I found that when I'm making the most out of my life and when I'm going all in on my purpose and my vision is when I feel the best and when I feel like I'm making the right life choices. So that's a secret blueprint to make the right life choices. Again, this is just my experience. This is what I think. If you disagree, it's totally okay. I just put this stuff out here to hopefully help you guys. If you like this video, please comment and I'll make more of them. I'll see you guys in the next one.